मंगल भवन अमंगल हारी, मंगल भवन अमंगल हारी। द्रौपदी दशरथ अजिर बिहारी, द्रौपदी दशरथ अजिर बिहारी। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई। कृपा करहु गुरु देव की नाई, कृपा करहु गुरु देव की नाई। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, मंगल भवन मंगल हारी। जनक सुता जग जननी जानकी, अतिशय प्रिय करुणा निधान की। ताके जुगपद कमल मनाऊं, जासु कृपा निर्मल मति पाऊं। We are in the how does one define it? The thick but not yet the very thick but very thick of battle of Yuddha Kanda. From a highlight perspective, we have seen the first attack of Indrajit, the Nagapasha Vimochanam, and then the slaying of the general and the others, then the humiliation of Ravana in the first battle with Rama. Thereafter, the waking up of Kumbhakarna was what we saw last time. The fascinating description of Valmiki. And we left the field last time with Kumbhakarna striding, having gotten up when the Rakshasas had gone to Ravana and said, Kumbhakarna is up, what should we do? He said, may he be pleased to be brought here, may he please with all honor, etc. And they had gone and told him, then he had got ready to meet the king. Prakshalya Vadanam, he had gargled first, he had a bath, he put on his best of ornaments, and Prakshalya Vadanam Hrittas Natha Paramaharshita Pipasus Tvaraya Masa Panam Balasameranam. And then, having got very thirsty, he had asked for something strong. Valmiki says, Pitva Ghatasahastve Dve Gamanayopachakrame Ishat Samutkati Matta Tejo Balasamanvita. 2000 pots of liquor is tossed off. Ghatasahastre. So having done that, he was slightly tipsy but feeling good. He's ready to go and all that, exuberant, and his extraordinary power he could now feel running, coursing through his veins. And he strode forth to his brother's home looking like Yama on the march. And he was wearing a garland of folded palms. And we left it there, and just the sight of him beyond the wall from the outside, he could be seen as he's towering up to the sky and he's striding up the huge royal Rajamarga, lighting it up by his sheer power of presence as he strides. The apes were terrified by this. They couldn't believe what they saw. That's why we left last time. And the ape chiefs simply fell down in an agony of fear. Just the sight. Some just simply ran off in different directions. Some just slowly sank down onto the earth, just looking up. Looking at him who resembled a mountain peak. And he looked as if he was expanding all the time as well. Absolutely awesome spectacle of Kumbhakarna slowly treading and walking, shaking the earth with every step. The apes were completely beside themselves with fear and they started scattering, running in all directions. And many of them just went and seeking in front of Rama refuge, saying, "Save us from this." And Rama had his eyes on them. But huge. Did he know who it was? Huge. Rakshasa on the other side. Tato Ramo Mahateja Dhanurādāya Vīryavan Kirītinam Mahakāyam Kumbhakarnam Dadarsha. So he seized his bow and he saw on the other side. Tam drishtva rakshasashreshtam parvatākāra darshanam kramamanam ivākāsham purānārayanam yatā. He saw him, parvatākāra darshanam, mountainous Rakshasa, looked as if in days of yore when Sriman Narayana had taken the measure of the skies, like that. Satoyam Buddha Sankasham Kanchanangata Bhushanam Drishtva Purah Pradudrava Vanarana Mahachamu. Satoyam Buddha Sankasham. He was of the color of the blue-black monsoon clouds, full of water. He was wearing golden ornaments, and just as again seeing him, every time they saw him, they started running around, the apes. The entire army panicked. The ape army panicked and took to flight. Rama was amazed by the sight of that, and he asked Vibhishana, Koso Parvata Sankasha Kiriti Harilochana Lankayam Drishyate Veera Savidyudivato Yada. Koso Parvata Sankasha. Who is this? Who is of the size of a mountain? Kiriti Harilochana, wearing a crown, who's got the eyes of a lion. And he looks in Lanka as if he's a cloud with lightning. Prithivya ketu bhutosau Vanekotra drishyadeyam drishtva vanra sarve vidravanti tadastata. Prithivya ketu bhutosau. He looks as if he is the flagstaff of the earth. Mahan. He stands out and the monkeys are all running away in all directions. There is a sheer sight of him. Who is this huge person, Vibhishana? Is he a Rakshasa or is he an Asura? Asura, as apart from Rakshasa, apparently an evil spirit in some sense. Never have I seen a creature such as this before, says Rama to Vishnu. So Vishnu told him, this is Kumbhakarna. This is Kumbhakarna, the valiant son of Vishravas. Kumbhakarna who defeated Vaivasvata and Vasava in battle. There is no other Rakshasa who comes anywhere near him in sheer size or height. He has slaughtered them all, Rama. He has slaughtered the Danavas, the Yakshas, the Gandharvas, the Kinnaras, the Vidyadharas, the Bhujangas, the carrion eaters. He has slaughtered them all in their thousands, O Raghava. The gods, when they confronted him, the sheer sight of him, of Kumbhakarna, of crooked eyes, armed with a trident as he strode towards them, the Devas, they thought he was Kala, the destroyer, and they could not so much as face him. O Rama, Kumbhakarna's power is innate in him. Whereas the strength of the other Rakshasas are due to boons that have been granted to them. Not so for Kumbhakarna, it's innate in him. Like you read in Asterix comics. Asterix, etc. has to take that portion. Obelix fell into the vat when he was born, so it's innate in him. So Kumbhakarna's power is innate in him. The moment he was born, he was so hungry that he started gobbling up all the people that were around him. When they saw that he was gobbling up everybody in sight, the people around him ran and reported to Mahendra, Lord Indra, Sakra. And the angry Mahendra struck Kumbhakarna with his sharp Vajrayudha. When the baby Kumbhakarna was hit by Vajrayudha, he put up such a din that it tore the sky. Hearing the terrible din raised by Kumbhakarna, the earth, which had already been rattled, was now in a paroxysm of fear. And in his wrath, Kumbhakarna, of immense strength, he pulled out the tusk of Indra's elephant Airavata and he hit Indra with it. He struck Vasava in the chest with the tusk of his elephant Airavata. And Vasava, reeling under the blow, blazing with anger, he went straight away to Brahma. They all went to Swayambhu Brahma, the Pitama, and they told him about this creature, his wickedness, who is eating up everything in sight. He is laying waste and is already growing up every moment. And he is laying waste all the ashramas of the rishis and started committing all kinds of atrocities already. If he goes on like this, the world will soon become empty, they go and plead to him. When he heard this, Brahma then called, he sent for the Rakshasas. And then he saw, for the first time, he himself saw Kumbhakarna, Brahma. And as he stared at Kumbhakarna, even Brahma felt a tremor. He shook, looking at the sight of Kumbhakarna. Then he steadied himself. And then he told Kumbhakarna, Dhruvam loka vinashaya paulastyena sinirmitah Tasma tvamadya prabhuti mritakalpa shaishyase dhruvam loka vinashaya. Surely Pulastya has created you for the express purpose of the destruction of the world. Therefore, as of now, from now on, I curse you that you shall lie down, you shall be lying down as good as a dead person. For all practical purposes, like a dead body. Immediately struck by that curse, he just fell. When he did that, Ravana was greatly agitated. He prayed to Brahma. He told him, Pravruddha kanchano vriksha phalakalam nikrityade natadnanaptaram swakam nyayam shaptumevam prajapate. He says, having raised a tree of gold, you have acted just before it has, just as it was about to flower. It is not right to curse your own great grandson in this manner, O Lord of the worlds. But what you have said need not go in vain either. Let him fall into a deep sleep by all means. But do please fix when he should wake up and when he should sleep. Give him some moments of wakefulness. And Swayambhu Brahma said, alright, he shall sleep for 6 months. And he shall wake up for 1 day. 6 months and then he'll keep awake 1 day. In that 1 day, this powerful one might going about with his mouth wide open in hunger. He may devour all creatures like the angry god of fire. All this Vibhishana is telling Rama. For who this Kumbhakarna is? And then he tells him, apparently, it looks like Ravana has got him woken up. And he has come out, and at his mere sight, all the apes are all flying, scattering around. How will they ever stand up to him in battle? Uchyantam vanra sarve yantrametat samutsidam iti vinyaya hariyo bhavishyandeha nirbhaya. So Vibhishana tells Rama, he says, let the apes be told that this is a machine, a yantram, a robot. Uchyantam vanra sarve yantrametat samutsidam iti vinyaya hariyo bhavishyantiha nirbhaya. And if they hear that, then the apes will believe that and they will not be fearful anymore. They will shed their fear. Hearing Vibhishana's words, it sounded reasonable. Raghava told Neela, the son of Agni, to get the army into battle formation and to be ready for this great machine which is going to step out anytime. So man or monkey, all the entrances, be ready with the rocks and the crests of mountains and trees and with every weapon that you have in your hand. And in proper battle formation, alert. There's all the huge apes now are standing with huge rocks above their head. They look like clouds against the sides of a mountain. And they're all ready and waiting. And our man was taking steps in Lanka. Saturakshasashar Dulu, this tiger among Rakshasas. Nidra Madasama Kula, afflicted by sleep and by intoxication both. And 9 days only he slept. Both Rajamargam Shriya Dushtam Yayau Vipula Vikrama. He was walking along the prosperous Rajamarga of Lanka. Shriya Dushtam. His head in a whirl. He walked, and he was surrounded by thousands of Rakshasas. The Rakshasas got strength. Kumbhakarna was up. Thousands of Rakshasas. And as he walked from all the mansions on the two sides of Rajamarga, they're showering flowers on him, shouting with Jai Jaikara. Feeling good as he walked. And he saw the palace of Ravana. Sahe majali vitatam bhanubhaswara darshanam dadaksha vipulam ramyam rakshasendra niveshanam. He saw from far the spacious and beautiful palace of the king of Rakshasas. Hemajali vitatam, with that golden windows, golden grills, dazzling the eye like the sun and the moon. And when he entered that palace of Ravana, Valmiki says it looked like the sun entering into a bank of clouds. Like that he entered, and he saw his brother, the king, sitting far. And he looked at him from far, like Indra might have looked at Brahma, like that he looked at him. And every step that he took, boom, the earth would shake. Kumbhakarna steps. Like when they were building this hotel in St. Mary's Road, they used to have this pile driver going into the earth, boom, this house would shake. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, TN Session filed a case in High Court saying that his house is cracking, etc. Because that is next. So like huge pile driver that day. So shaking the earth. Ravana with these Rakshasas, Kumbhakarna coming with Rakshasas, all of them. He crossed the door. And Ravana was sitting on his Pushpaka Vimanam. Pushpaka was sitting. And he saw Kumbhakarna coming. He jumped up in delight. Very, very happily saw him from far. He sat down from here. Waved him in. Kumbhakarna came. And from far he just prostrated completely to the feet of Ravana. Prostrated to him. Then he got up. And Ravana hugged him, embraced him. He embraced him and he seated him on a special throne of Kumbhakarna. He sat down. Everybody was there. Taking his seat. Kumbhakarna, however, his eyes angry and red. He was there and he asked Ravana. He sat down, he asked him, Kim Krityam. What is to be done? Why is it that I have been woken up on your orders with such insistent urgency? Who is it that has caused fear in you, who has to be made into a corpse? Ravana judged by the way Kumbhakarna was and his eyes were rolling, etc., that he was extremely angry on being woken up. And he told him, Adyate tu sumahan kala shayanasya mahabala susuptasya najanije mama rama kritam bhayam. It is a long time today that you have laid down to sleep. O Kumbhakarna of immense strength, you have actually slept for a long time. Kumbhakarna in India is not a long time, but he is telling you may not know how many days. Still, you slept for a long time, and you have slept happily, but you do not know. You know nothing of the fear which Rama has put into me. This Rama, the son of Dasharatha, having crossed the sea, along with Sugriva and his army, has laid axe at the very root of Lanka. At the very root of our existence, brother. The monkeys have crossed over to Lanka with ease on a bridge that they made. And now they're all over Lanka, in the mountains, in the forests. Everywhere has been taken over by the apes. And most of the important Rakshasas have been slain in battle. But I do not find apes being destroyed. And these apes have never ever faced defeat before. You of immense strength have to bail us out of this great crisis that we are in. Destroy them forthwith, brother. It was for that I had you woken up. You must realize that all my wealth has now been exhausted. You should now come to the rescue of Lanka. Bhraturarte mahabaho kurukarma sudushkaram. For the sake of your brother, you must do this task which is very nearly impossible. Extremely difficult task. For the sake of your brother, you must do. Mayavam noktapurvo hibhrata kachit parantapa. Brother, I have never ever before made such a request to anyone. I have never made such a request to anyone, my brother. But I have such affection for you, such supreme confidence in your ability. Many a time when we had to go for battle, it was you who would decimate the enemies. Now is the time that you need to exert all your strength. Do this for me. Do this for me. That would befit the love that we have for each other, brother. Do what must be pleasing and good for me. You, Kumbhakarna, who loves a fight, who loves me, do this for me. Destroy the enemies like a great wind scattering the clouds. Kumbhakarna heard him. And he answered him with a bitter laugh. He laughed. And he said, Drishto dosho hiyosmabhi pura mantra vivirnaye hiteshvana bhiyuktena soyamasaditastwaya. Drishto dosho yo asmabhi pura mantra vivirnaye. That dosha, that bad consequence, which we had anticipated much earlier, when you had called us for consultation, the consequence that we had told you, that consequence is now come upon you because of the utter disregard you had for the words spoken to you by your well-wishers, brother. You have reaped the fruit of your wicked action quick enough, like the fall into hell of an evildoer. Without considering the matter carefully, you launched into this venture, O great king, out of the arrogant consciousness of your strength, your power. You did not realize how seriously wrong it was what you were doing. He who, merely relying on his own supreme power, does first what should be done last, and does last what should be done first, he does not know the first thing about Niti. Deshakala vihinani karmani viparitavat kriyamanani dushyanti avimsha prayadeshviva. Deshakala vihinani karmani viparitavat. Actions which, although they may be good in themselves, but if it's done at the wrong time, in the wrong place, it will produce evil results. Like offering, you are offering havish into a fire in a yajna. That fire is not properly lit, and you are offering havish. What will be the consequence? त्रयाणां पंचधा योगं कर्मणां यः प्रपद्यते सचिवैः समयं कृत्वा सम्यक् अभिवर्तते. He who acts in agreement with the advice that he hears from his counselors after considering 3 types of duties and 5 courses of actions, such a king moves in the right course. Here, the commentators say that the 3 types of duties referred here is one, in such a situation, you may want to conclude peace with the enemy through conciliation. 2, you may accept their allegiance through gift. 3, you may invade as a matter of coercion. There are 5 means that you need to adopt. Those 5 means are 5 types of means, as I say. You have to be careful about the method of initiating actions. How you are initiating those actions. 2, what is the people and the materials that you have which you have to work on for doing this. If you don't have any arms or weapons are old, it's not the same thing. So you have to know what the people and the materials you have. 3, is it the right time, the right place for that action? 4, you must make provision against mischance, risk. It may not work out, then what do? That provision against mischance you must have. And 5, you must have clear idea about the chances of success. With this, having done all this and taken consultation from your ministers, thought through this, then act. Then it will be successful. Okay, elementary niti. The king who favors a particular course of action based on the science of niti, he discusses it with his advisors and he takes his well-wishers into confidence before deciding. Such a king follows a sound policy. O king, a man should pursue dharma, artha and kama at the prescribed hours, devoting himself to each of these either singly or 2 of them together or even 3 together. But the king, who having how to do or how to follow this, does not follow the principles of when it is to be done, what is to be done, such a person has no purpose, has found no purpose from the teachings that he has heard from wise men. A king who exercises self-control, who consults his advisors at the right time and decides the time and place for the right course of action and decides whether what should I do? Should I appease the enemy by gifts? Should I sow dissension among his allies? Should war be the right thing to do now? Or should I have a combination of these expedients? How should I go about them? Having thought through this, the king who acts, he acts with the sound intent and he will not suffer. Anavijnaya shastrartham purushaah pashubuddhayah pragalbhyat vaktumicchandi mantrishvabhyantari krita. Anavijnaya shastrartham, having no knowledge of shastrartha, no knowledge of the principles of statecraft. Purushaha pashubuddhaya, men who are animal buddhi, lack of discrimination, aviveki, pragalpya vaktum ichanti, they tend to give atrocious advice, shocking advice. If they are called in for consultation, people like that who have got pashubuddhi, who don't know principles of statecraft, you have them as your advisors and you go by their advice, then you be prepared that they are going to give you some absolutely atrocious and shocking advice. And a king who himself is unacquainted with the principles of statecraft, but he is wishing for abundant prosperity, at least the least he can do, he should not follow the harmful advice given by these ignorant fools. The king should look at them. He should carefully weed out such advisors. He should examine, skillfully he should examine them. And such people should not be admitted to the inner council because they will ruin the king's enterprises. They will be instigated by the adversaries. The enemies will know. They will instigate them. And by their instigation, these advisors will do what is harmful for you. You should find out by skillful questioning who it is that have been compromised by enemies already inside your inner circle, who are actually your adversaries, who are masquerading as your friends. Because the minute you don't do that, then your enemies have found a gap in you. Like the birds which cross over the Himalayas, finding a gap in the Krauncha mountain. They found the gap. Net, O king, he who has not understood the enemy's designs, who fails to protect himself adequately from disaster, he invites such a situation. Whatever our younger brother Vibhishana advised that day, okay. When we held consultations, whatever advice he gave on that day is still now, even now, the right course to follow. It is the right course to follow. It is to our interest. Follow that course, if you please. Kumbhakarna. Ravana. Tatshutva dashagriva Kumbhakarnasya bhashitam Brukutim chaiva sanchakre Kruddhaschaina vabhashata. When he heard these words of Kumbhakarna, he knotted his eyebrows in anger, Ravana. And in anger he spoke to him and he told him, Manyo Gururivacharya Kimmam Tvamanusasate Shasase Kimevam Vakshramam Kritva Yuktam Tat Vidhiyata. Manyo Guru, even Acharya. You think you are my Guru or Acharya? Who are you to lecture me as if you are an honored Guru or teacher? Vakshramam, you are wasting your breath. So much lecture. So much lecture. Giving strain to your mouth. Vakshramam, Kritva. Yuktam Tattadiyatam. You need to do what this moment calls for. What is this? What is the use of dwelling upon failures? We didn't do this, we didn't do this. Whether we didn't do it because of lack of discrimination, or because of our ignorance, or because of excessive faith in our own strength and prowess, etc. What it may be doesn't matter. What is the point in dwelling on it? We need to do what the present calls for. There is no use regretting the past. What is gone is gone. If you have love for me, if you have love for me and you really know your own strength, and you think that this business is something of importance, then you must use your valor. And if I have committed a mistake, you must use your valor to set right my mistake. My mistake in following an unsound policy, whatever consequence it has to lead to, you must use your valor to undo that. Sasukrityo vipannartham deenamabhyupapadyate sabandhuryo panereshu sahayayopakalpate. Sasuhrit, he is a true well-wisher who stands by a friend, a man who has lost everything that he cherished and who is now plunged into depths of despair. Sabandhu yo apaniteshu sahayayopakalpate. He is a staunch friend who comes to the aid of a man who has got into difficulties by pursuing some wrong course of action. Still lecturing him, you did wrong. No, Kumbhakarna realized that Ravana was angry. He realized Ravana was angry and he answered him in gentle words, soothing him, told him, stop grieving, king. Stop grieving. Calm down. Calm yourself. Don't be angry. You have no need to brood over what has happened so long as I am alive. I shall destroy the cause of your suffering. I had to say what I said for the good of you. Whatever might be the state of your mind, I had to say that as a well-wisher and as a brother of yours. And that was my duty, O king. But you have no need to worry. Worry not. You shall see me playing havoc with the enemy. As a loving brother of yours should. You shall see the enemy's army flying all over the battlefield this very day. Adya Ramasya tadrishtva mayanītam ranachirah sukhi bhava mahabhaho sita bhavatu dukkhita. Today, when you see me bringing from the battlefield the head of Rama, Sukhi bhava mahabhaho, be happy, be happy. You will see me bringing the head. May happiness be yours and may grief be to the lot of Sita. The Rakshasas in Lanka who have lost their near and dear in the battle already, they shall witness the death of Rama, which shall please them greatly. You shall see the first of the apes, the mountainous Sugriva. You shall see me tearing him to pieces. He shall be torn to pieces and scattered all over the ground like a cloud which has been lit up by the sun. How can anybody slay you, O king? How can anybody slay you when we and all these Rakshasas are here to protect you? Mam nihatya kilatvami nihanishyanti raghava nahamatmani santapam gaccheyam rakshasadipa. Mam nihatya kilatvami nihanishyanti raghava. How is it possible that without killing me, he kills you. Naham atmani santapam gaccheyam rakshasadive. As to myself, Naham atmani santapam. As to myself, I have no regrets. For myself, I have no fear, no despair, no regret. I shall go now, O Rakshasa, king. You may ask me, order me now, this very minute, Kumbhakarna, go! Tell me. You can order me, and you need not ask anybody else. I shall exterminate them. Them all. Be it Indra, be it Yama, be it Agni, be it Vayu, Kubera, Varuna, let them come, I shall fight them all. Even the destroyer of the citadel will dread to see me. With my mountainous body and my fierce fangs, armed with a sharp spear, I shall rip apart the sky. No man who values his life would dare to face me. O king, I require no weapons, I require no javelin, I require no mace, I don't need a sharp sword, I need no bow and arrows. With my bare hands, I can slay the wielder of the thunderbolt, Indra himself. If Raghava survives the thunderous impact of my doubled fist, then a flood of arrows shall drink up his blood. Why should you allow yourself to be oppressed by worry, O king, while I live? I am starting this very moment to destroy your enemy. Cast aside your fear. I shall destroy Rama, I shall destroy Lakshmana, Sugriva and Hanuman. I shall destroy Hanuman, who actually slew the Rakshasas and set Lanka on fire. I shall kill all the apes and I shall make a stand on the battlefield. Even if the threat comes from Indra himself or Swayambhu Brahma himself, I shall deal with that. The gods, the devas, shall all be stretched out today on the ground if they provoke me. Yamam cha shamayishyami, bhakshayishyami pavakam, adityam patayishyami, sanakshatram mahitale, shatakatum vadishyami, pasyami varunalayam, parvatas churnayishyami, dhareshyami medini. Yamam cha shamayishyami. I shall silence Yama. Bhakshayishyami pavakam. Vayu, I'll eat him up. Adityam patayishyami. The sun, I'll throw him on the ground. Sanakshatram mahitale. Along with all the stars, I'll gather the sun and chuck them down. Shatakritam vadishyami. I shall kill the offerer of 100 sacrifices, Mahindra. Pasyami varunalayam. I shall drink up the ocean. Parvatana churnayishyami. I shall powder the mountains. Dhareshyami medini. I shall just tear apart the earth. All creatures shall witness this day the prowess of Kumbhakarna. Kumbhakarna, who has been sleeping so long, all creatures shall witness this day the prowess. And that side of the apes shall witness my prowess when they are being eaten up by me. The three worlds will not suffice today to satisfy my hunger. I go forth now, O king, to make you happy. You deserve happiness. I shall make you happy by the slaughter of Dasarathi. Ramasva kamam pibachadya varuni पुरुष्वकृत्यानि विनीय दुःखं मयाद्य रामे गमिते यमक्षयं चिराय सीतावशगा भविष्यति रमस्व कामं पिबचाद्य वारुणी रमस्व कामं enjoy yourself to your heart's content पिबचाद्य वारुणी go and drink the choicest of liquor kurushva krityani viniya dukkham go about whatever you want to do, all your business, go about doing it free of care, okay? When I have sent Rama to Yama's abode this very day, Sita Vashaga Bhavishyati. Sita will be yours for keeps. And on that note, we'll conclude here today. Har Nama Parvati Pataye Janaki Kanta Smaranam Gopika Jivana Smaranam Govinda Govinda Tiril Muruganak Sadguru Swamina Jai Anjaneya Swamina